All right, this is another one of our nominees. This one is called Good Night Owl. It's written and illustrated by a man named Greg Pizzoli. And if you notice on the front of this book has already won one award. Does anybody know who that man is right there? Can anybody tell who that is? His name is Theodore Geisel. Who's Theodore Geisel? We celebrate his birthday Friday.
This Friday? This Friday?
Dr. Seuss. Theodore Geisel is Dr. Seuss. And he won, he's no longer alive anymore, but I think they give this award to one book every year. And I kind of think that they choose books that Dr. Seuss would like. So this is kind of a silly book, but it's called Good Night Owl. Now, first off, if you think about the title of this book, Good Night Owl. What do we know about owls? What do we know about owls? They don't sleep at night. They sleep during the day, so we call that what kind of animal?
Nocturnal.
Nocturnal. So owls are nocturnal. So before we even start the book, we kind of know that this is, what?
Fishy.
Little fishy, yes.
Sketchy.
Owl was settling into bed when he heard a noise. Squeak. It was a tiny sound, no louder than a whisper, a funny noise he hadn't heard before. Someone must be at the door, said Owl. Just a minute. But no one was there. Probably the wind, said Owl. And he lay down in bed and said to himself, Good night, Owl. Squeak. Then he heard the noise again. It's coming from the cupboard, said Owl. So he went to take a look. He emptied every shelf, but there was no noise to be found. So Owl went back to bed. Good night, Owl, he said. And then he heard the noise. Squeak! It must be under the floor, said Owl. And he pulled up the floorboards one by one. But he didn't find the noise. So Owl went back to bed. Squeak! This house has a noisy roof, yelled Owl. And he took down the roof. There, said Owl, no more noise. Owl got back into bed, the stars and the moon shining down where his roof used to be. Good night, Owl, he said. But Owl didn't close his eyes. He didn't dare. He knew that any second he would hear the noise. So he waited and waited and waited and waited. Squeak! Oh, it's in the walls, said Owl. I'll get you, noise, Owl said, as he tore down the walls of his house. But he found nothing. The cupboard was empty, the floorboards were pulled up, the roof was pulled down, and the walls were gone. Owl went back to bed, and he said, Good night, Owl. And then he saw the noise. Squeak! Owl smiled, and he said, Good night, noise. And they went